So here we go, ready or not, we're going to get our feet wet with this. These are the new cages, and they're modal cages. Okay, so that's pretty much just an introduction to the modal cages, and believe it or not, it's going to be longer than 38 keys to get all of those octaves and the one below it. So I've got this, monstrosity of a fretboard, which is completely virtual. You can't really, there's no guitar that's really that long, okay, that I know of. It possibly could be done, but that's getting into really, like physics of string theory. Where could you have a guitar that actually is that long? So anyway, this one starts here in middle C, and the reason why we go all the way up 38 frets like that is so we can get all of the cages to cycle. We want to get them to cycle. Okay? So this helps them cycle, this wheel here. So this would be reinventing the wheel here. C to G to D. So this is our normal long pattern circle here. And if you just scoot these, go from A to A here, you say this particular pattern, it makes a cage circle from A. So we got A, G, E, D, C, A. A, G, E, D, C, A. These are the string shapes involved here. The G string shape's involved, but we don't have the root of it. We're just taking the 5, 6, 7. Here's the root. Okay, so we leave the letters on there for clarity so we can see we're climbing up the cage. We're going around the cage circle there. So we have a little cage circle over there, like gears together, But not, I don't know if it works exactly like that. I don't think so. So, we go around the circle stays still. It doesn't rotate. And then we go back into the, so we got C, G, D, A, E, just like that. And we have our cage circle there. All right. So that's what this cage system is showing. We have the 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so in this case, I'm starting on root 2, 3 here. All right, so that would be with my guitar. I'm down C tuned fret nut right down here. I have middle C right down here. So here's middle C, and this is my middle C. You see, I'm tuned to middle C on the top string. So it's C, F, B flat, E flat, G, C. Okay, so we look at the root. So these are all patterns that can be played to the right. They're not going to go to the left anymore. I think that's, if I'm not mistaken. Now you can always do, let's look at the D here for a second before I start playing away, right? Here's the old D box, which is still in full use. It's just we already learned it backwards and forwards. So it's D, G, A, right? But remember, it's a D-shaped C, it's a G-shaped F, and it's a A-shaped G. So in that D box, mine is down here. We have the D-shaped C down here, and then the G-shaped F right here. Both hands on the double root on the G-shaped F, both fingers, and then A-shaped G. Okay, so that's still covered, shown in this chart, and this banner here shows you that. Okay, so this is the D box right here. This is the D box, the old D box. Not the old D box, the short patterns D box is right there. So it's still covered, it's always there. You can always use it if you want to you know, play a D diatonic, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, like that. Okay? Except this time now we're going to look at D differently. We're going to look at it as a long pattern. So we're going to take the D long pattern. So let's say we want to start the D long pattern on that 2. You see how now we're looking at, I closed the drawing tool, but okay, now we're looking at, this is the D long pattern here, and we're going to be doing its modal 1, 4, 5 instead, because now we're doing a new cage system called the modal cage system. You heard it here. I'm sure it, you know, people have done it in their head without writing it down, but I'm trying this out because it usually works out good when we do that 1, 4, 5 stuff. That worked out really well with the short patterns and the pentatonics. So let's look at the D box for a second here and say we're going to have a new D box here. Okay, so it's going to be 2, 3, 4. So we have to put the capo on the D. 2, 3, 4, and then we go into a long pattern, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then up to 7, root 2, and 3, 4, 5 there. So that's your D shaped C, D shaped root pentatonic. Okay. Don't call it particularly DGA anymore because we can do those. We can get those shapes from here. We've got D. We've got a D shaped C. We've got a G shaped F, and we've got A shaped G there. So we can get that in the new box. But we've also got this other thing we're looking at: E minor second. Okay, in the D box here, and then we have the A-shaped fifth, and then we have in the next cage over, up from that D is C, right? In caged, we start the word caged over again. We have an A minor shaped sixth. Okay, so what we've actually played is the second minor on that D, the fifth, and then A minor. Okay, that's what we did. Now the question is, do we have this in the new cage? And the answer is yes. We have the 3, 6, and the root. It's right here, 3, 6 root. That's why we call it A minor shaped 6. So that's the new modal box for D. It's not exactly short. Okay. Now let me just explain about going to the next cage here. Okay, in the longer patterns, we're going to end up in the next cage anyway, one way or another, usually. Okay, so the 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5 is in the next cage there. It's actually in the formal old C cage, which is right here. What I wanted to say was this A minor shaped sixth, right? That's the same old 6 minor. So if you're in the D box, what's that 6 minor going to be? It's going to be 1 caged letter advanced from D is C minor shaped. Let's go up an octave. Let's look at that same D. We can do a C minor shaped. We were looking to do the relative minor of it. Okay, so that's going to start with 3. It's going to be 3, 6 root again. Look at that, C minor shaped, 3, 6 root 3, and into a D minor shaped into the box, into the box, next box the other way. Okay, so here's your C minor shape, 3, 6 root 3, 6, and then the other root is going to be there. So you can see how the cage extends a little bit further than we'd like it to. You know, that's why we use the long patterns. when we use the long patterns, this, instead of doing the C-shaped right here, the C-shaped